All right, everybody. Welcome back to another video. This is Prove Me Right. Just found somebody using English at a level that most people should be using it on a daily basis and not have to have any kind of special education for. So hopefully y'all can find somebody who knows exactly how to use words the way they're supposed to and how others don't know how to don't know how to hear them correctly and use English incorrectly to attack the correct English user. So without further ado, let's get started. Like always, if you haven't, always support the channel by hitting that subscribe button, all, giving a thumbs up. Do the same for Asmongold, Zach Rar, or wherever you find him. He's on multiple platforms, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and probably other places too. Anyways, let's get back.
Gives his based opinion. Okay, let's listen to it. Intelligent and smart people. The problem, people are really not going to like this. You're not being oppressed by the top 2% of society. You're being oppressed by the bottom 2% of society.
Yes.
And the bottom 2% of society have caused all of the manifest problems in your lives are caused by the bottom 2% in society. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Last time I checked, it's not Elon Musk stealing bikes and living outside the 7-Eleven trying to stab people. That's it. And anyway, Asma reacting as so obviously this is true. Careful, the most impoverished and powerless people in your society are the ones causing all the problems. Well, they're not powerless whenever they rob you.
That's correct. When someone holds power over you, whether it's coercion, fear, or anything else, it's power. So you can't say impoverished people who threaten your life are powerless. They have just as much strength as someone who lives in a home and has a job. They have just as much ability to use a knife, gun, or even something out of the trash can like a broken baseball bat to stab, beat you, or make you give up your earnings or whatever you just bought from a store, your cash wallet, whatever. And that's power. And obviously, from what I can tell, he's talking about your everyday life. When you walk out into the street, what is immediately affecting you? So yes, this statement is true, and you're about to hear about how all these other people misunderstood exactly what he just said.
They're not powerless when they steal your bike. They're not powerless whenever they start yelling at you. So I went to IHOP yesterday. I didn't get home until like 1 a.m. right? And so like I went out to dinner with like some friends, and so we're there, and there's obviously a tweaker there. There's a crackhead there, and that person made our meal. I mean, to be fair, it made it more entertaining in a way, but the police had to be called. They had to micromanage this idiot, right? And so and he's just sitting there eating things of creamer until the police are called and they have to make him leave. And so like Jeff Bezos has never come into an IHOP and had to been removed by the police. Jeff Bezos has never tried to steal a bike, as far as I know. Jeff Bezos has never, pooped in the middle of the Walmart. It's never happened. Did they tase him? No, they didn't. Honestly, they just said, all right, it's time for you to leave the IHOP. And then he started talking. They just waited for him to get done talking. They're like, all right, yep. It's time for you to leave the IHOP. And he's like, okay. Okay, I'm leaving the IHOP now. And that was it. You can't prove that? Oh, of course not. And so, anyway, drinking straight creamer is nasty. He's a nutball. What do you expect? And you have proof that Jeff Bezos has never shit in a Walmart. I do not have proof of that. That's a very good point. I don't. You're partially right. The bottom 2% are the tool that does that, but their NPCs controlled by someone, like the news for someone. So basically, here's...
All right. Everybody has choice. So I don't care what the top 1, 2, 3, I don't care what the top 99% does, or the whole 100% does. Everybody has a choice to make. Doesn't matter what Jeff Bezos does, he can't make you go do bad things, okay? And interrupt everybody's life on a day to day basis like this. That's your choice. If you fell for it, if you were psyoped into it by your dealers getting manipulated or whatever, well, you're snowflaking and you need to go away. You need to check yourself inside. Go away. Like literally go like the Buddhists did. Sit by yourself and think about why you're connecting these emotions to that reaction and these bad choices. Separate that from the get go, attach it to a new emotion, and work on fixing the problem and not causing more of the problem. That is really quite easy to do. Uh, but you have to be willing to look inside yourself, see the real connections, where you made the connections when you grew up. You have to know, go through your life to see where you did make those connections, where every time you had that emotion in that specific, and you work backwards to it, and you disconnect it and reconnect it, and you start practicing it from there on. Now, some people, like it only took me 3 years to do this because I did all the emotional connections at one time. But some people have to go back with just one emotional. Like, say you get angry at this situation. Now you got to figure out where was the first time you ever had that situation and why did you get angry back then? And you have to break it down like that. And then you find another emotion, like I was angry at this type of situation. Why? And so every emotion has multiple steps that you have to take it back to where you first connected. But if you do all of them at the same time, it'll only take you like 3 years. But you got to do it. It's called walking meditation. Uh, uh, I practiced it because in my younger days, where I studied multiple religions, yes, like 9 different religions, and they're all the major ones, including Buddhist. So I invented what's called walking meditation, where I still went to work, but every second of every day, I literally was thinking about all these emotional connections. And what happened was, after 3 years, is I found that I can connect emotion or not back to all these instances, which is why I don't get angry, upset, or mad unless I want to. And there are certain things I want to get mad about. And so I force myself to show physical, you know, words when I speak or emotions or whatever. But I'm not actually super irate. I'm just enough mad that I can talk like it. And that is bullying of all kinds. That stems all the way into the child abductions, the P. Diddying, you name it, even just regular bullying. Uh, where you're just down putting people for some reason that you think they're lower than you or want them to think they're lower than you. That's bullying. And when families, communities uh, start to break up, start to separate, stop hanging out together, stop supporting each other, this starts as a family, moves into a community, moves into your town or and then maybe a city, moves into your state, moves into your nation, moves into the world. So if you look at it like that, we're all a community. So when people start separating into individuals and using bullying techniques against each other, uh, I get mad about that. Anyways, let's get back to Asmon's reaction to all the people who can't use English to prove me right.
The way that I look at it, right, is that the 1% people cause a lot of problems like long term, but your immediate everyday issues that you're running into, those are caused by the bottom 2% of society. Those are the people robbing you, stealing your shit, breaking into your car, fucking yelling at you, interrupting the service at a Dairy Queen, having a problem, stealing something out of the store. That's what's really happening at the dregs of society. So I obviously respond to this in the most accurate way possible. I say, correct. They are functional animals who should be institutionalized via either a prison or mental asylums. They can't be rehabilitated. They can only be removed from society. The biggest weakness of Western society is the lie that all men are created equal. What can I say, guys? I really have a way with words. And, again, people are going to get mad, but that's the way it is. So, what'd you eat at IHOP? I got a chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes. That's just what I always get. I like it a lot. So,
Okay, so chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes. Think Asmongold's a Texan. I think I heard somewheres that he's in uh, Austin, maybe Austin area. That's pretty inland for me. I like the coast better. I gotta live on some water. I like fishing. I can't fish anymore. I'm too disabled for that, but I still have hundreds of poles with reels and line and lures. I've got lures from the. Anyways, I'm rambling. Let's fast forward a little bit to where he gets to past the IHOP.
on average than whatever idiot you think is in the Epstein files. You are absolutely right. Whenever the homeless schizophrenic,
No,
and so I'd classify them as non-functional. It's not the pedophilic elites fucking the world. Oh, because the only people that are pedophiles are rich people. There are no poor pedophiles. No, of course not. Homeless schizophrenic people, dumbass retard. Yes, absolutely. Homeless schizophrenic people are going to be causing you more problems on average than whatever idiot you think is in the Epstein files. You are absolutely right. Whenever the homeless schizophrenic.
ooh, here's a little insight to the Epstein files. Do you know the amount of kids trafficked in the Epstein files is a small percentage uh, of the amount of kids that the followers of the made up cult of Islam has done? I mean, like a fraction of a percent. If you add up from the time Mo, more ham in his mouth uh, to today, it is a huge number of children enslaved, raped, taken from their families, killed, murdered, the simplest of things, shrouded in clothing, full slavery, full on, worse than any slave had ever had it. The women in this cult, or brought into this cult, or even attacked by this cult because they're not Muslim too, is by far the most children in the world that were bullied in that fashion. So, if you want, type in the comments, prove me, prove me right, or try to prove me wrong if you can. But this is a prove me right, which means I want your responses on uh, like this. Anyways, let's get going.
Corners you and causes problems at the 7-Eleven whenever you are at the 7-Eleven, this person is instantaneously and manifestly making your life worse on a direct and immediate scale. And that's the way it is. So, not gonna lie, but you're right, I am. And we are oppressed by that bottom 2%. Why is it that you have to talk to an associate to get the toothpaste? It's not because of Jeff Bezos, it's because of the bottom 1%. That's really it. Do you take leftovers home, or do you have a restaurant, throw it away? I don't really take leftovers because I eat it all. That's the reason why. I mean, like, sometimes, like, I'll get to-go bags sometimes, right? But, like, that's very uncommon, honestly. Like, I'll usually just eat all the food. Like, I'm not a big eater, so I usually order light portions to begin with. I'm not a fatty either. Like, I eat a small portion of food. I don't eat, like, a full meal, and that's always been the case. No, Zach, it's not the mentally ill retard holding me up at knife point that's the problem. It's Donald Trump. Oh, right, yes. All men are created equal. Failing to educate people during their upbringing into Western values is what's failing them. Oh, man, Patrick, I'm so sorry, bro. Like, I'm so sorry. Listen, it's going to get better, all right? It's going to get better. You're going to
Uh, I agree with both of these people, kind of. Patrick should have put more information in there so he could have distinguished it better. Parents are failing their kids, and the kids themselves are failing to listen to their parents. And being brought up in a world where they're watching parents' rights being taken away and being taken away by their governments and given to the government is one way to show is to demasculinate the father or the whole family unit as an authority and pass it on to the government. So why should the kid grow up listening to the parents when the government now has the ability to stop you from being on the internet at 16, like in the UK and stuff like that? So so I can understand what Patrick was saying, but he needed more information to make that statement true so that Zach could have read it and been like, oh, yeah, he's got a point there instead of fighting against it because he didn't use English correctly. Once again, using English correctly and putting the right words and information in there to state a point in order for it to get across, you have to be able to use English right. You have to know it. So, but because he didn't, Zach is correct at what he's saying about that tweet. Or is it a tweet? X post? I don't know.
Learn the truth. And you might not like it, but you're going to learn it. And I get what you're saying. What is this here? And I feel like you're deflecting blame from all the architects of society. It's short sighted. Well, I'm talking about like the immediate negative effects. And also, it's about like these people don't really care about the top 1% either, right? Because they're probably going to be okay with other 1%ers and other people like that. And again, I think that both of them are huge problems. They are, but the more immediate problems are the bottom 2%. They absolutely are. And we're not talking about problems. You remove the turtles from the ocean to put them in trash there. Oh, that's a good idea. You could take all of the fish out of the ocean, and then we could just put all the trash in the ocean. We don't have to worry about garbage cans anymore. That's a good.
All right. I like this post here. Uh, this is so correct. Yeah, it's not poor people doing this, bro. It's the oligarchs. Always has been. Yes. Yes. The oligarchs do things. And then the people who choose to follow whatever the oligarchs orchestrated, they chose to follow that orchestration. It's not their fault they chose it. No, no. Let's blame it on someone else. That's like the other day going back to the trillionaire craziness of people. There's no such thing as a trillionaire with $1 trillion sitting in his pocket or a safe that he's diving in, okay? There's just no such thing as that. It's all in stocks. Sure, he's evaluated as a trillionaire because of all his companies. But if he cashed them out, then how will we get to space? How will we get the people from space back? It's anyways. So, and they want him to take, oh, let's take 1% of that imaginary stock that they don't own and use it to pay for vaccines for kids for 1,000 years or whatever. I don't know. Like we need more vaccines causing blood clots and other problems, killing people. Anyways, let's get back to this.
Good idea. Yeah, I don't know why anybody thought of that before. That's smart. Wants to agree. What if we had deep thought? The elites control the world works, and it's failing to arrest the bottom 2% of retards. I could be wrong. Well, I mean, like there's definitely a chicken and the egg, right? I mean, you're right. There's like a chicken and the egg scenario where like the 1% engineer the problems that create the 2% or enable the 2% of the bottom. Like I think that you're right about that. But again, your immediate problems that you have, those are caused by the bottom 2%. They absolutely are. And that's just the way it is. Let's see some of the other ones.
Oh, and one more thing. We used to live in a trust society where people made choices to do the right thing and walk around and not cause problems. Today, people are just walking around and choosing to do the wrong things to make problems. Uh, those people who are no longer trustworthy and prove it by their actions. Yes, that's why we have prisons, jails, and execution squads. Whether it's by lethal injection, a needle, or whatever, doesn't matter. They put the same pain on society. They can deal with a tiny bit of pain when they leave this world. Uh, anyway, let's see if he has any more to say. This video is about to come to an end, I think. Or not his video, mine.
Based opinion. It's this dumbass ramblings of a millionaire whose concept of oppression is not being able to say slurs in a video game without people on Twitter posting about it. What? What is it? No, I was talking about getting stabbed. I was talking about.
All right, that's another thing I hate seeing. Uh, I joined X only after Elon Musk bought the company and then specifically changed the name to X. So this guy is using English wrong again by calling something Twitter. Unless there's a real, maybe there is a real Twitter. I don't know, but all I know is there's an X, and I think Twitter is what he bought and made it X. Like I was never on any of those apps. I'm not on any of your social media apps, Blue Sky, Twitter. That's still around, or if that's the one that changed the X or whatever. I don't know. Um, Instagram, all that. That's all for propaganda stuff. That's useless in everyday life, and I've never been a part of it. I think I had Facebook, no, MySpace back in the 90s, uh, and that was it. I used to build websites for people, but that's it. Uh, got off of it before 90s even ended, like 96, 99, somewhere in there, maybe. Anyways, all right, let's get back to this.
Getting raped or stabbed. Like, what are you talking about? Oh my God. So it's again the intentional misunderstanding, as always. We love intentional misunderstandings. It's hard to comprehend how much money.
All right. So intentional misunderstanding means that they actually know how to use English and have used it correctly in the past. I bet you can't find me one instance where that person has used English correctly in the past, which means it wasn't intentional. He truly thinks in that retarded way, and so he truly speaks in that retarded way. Prove me wrong on that one. I don't think you can.
Effort, and time gets sucked up by the black hole that is trying to take care of the lowest common denominator of society. I like this guy. I like this guy a lot. And for a fantastic example, look at programs like No Child Left Behind, which at the cost of insane amounts of money and sucking up time away from bright and average students, raise the lower students' grades by single-digit amounts. That's pretty much the universal maxim. In the words of No Country for Old Men, it takes very little to govern good people, very little, and bad people can't be governed at all, or if they could, I've never heard of it. I've heard of it. It's called the El Salvador Maximum Security Prison. Actually, you can govern bad people very easily. So the same way you govern bad people, this is the thing, right? Is that all of the things that you do to livestock are the same things you do to those bad people. And it works. It works so well. But if you're confusing the two, then you're going to have problems. So Bonvino tweeted about Vlad the Impaler. I saw that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I'm not ready for it yet. So someone who wants nothing is telling you poorest merch society are impressing you. Absolutely, they're impressing you. They 100% are. Elon Musk isn't stealing your bike. And I disagree. The bottom 2% are taking up most of the voting block. Well, not all of those. What part of society keeps them from bathing and talking to women? Well, if I was talking to... This is what I find to be so odd. Your sense of success in life is approval from other people and being able to take a shower. Like, do you understand that, like, how easy that is? Like, really, like, it's not a big deal. Like, this is some kind of a massive issue. Changing the subject. Oh, they've got to change the subject. Oh, yeah, Asmongold is a moron. You cannot be oppressed by an oppressed class. Yeah. Well, what do you think?
Yes, you can. Oppression doesn't have a class, first and foremost. You think the billion-dollar company who's being oppressed by some tax laws or some red tape districting or some fuzzy wombat loving swampland that smells like crap and they're willing to go in there and drain it and displace the one wombat that's been living there forever. and make it into a beautiful place. Uh, it's not oppressed, so there's no such thing as a class of oppressed. You're either oppressed or you're the oppressor. I mean, you can be the middle person, I guess. That's the better way to do it. Let me go back for a second on here. Where was that one before this? Oh, too far. Uh, all right. Oh, the guy that was attacking Asmon for uh, bathing and talking to a woman. Which part of society keeps him from bathing and talking to a woman? Right. So, yes, that is another problem with how we're teaching our kids. We're telling them that we're teaching our kids and telling them that approval from others is more important than self approval. And if that's the case, then your morals come from external people and not internal. Growing up, first and foremost, as a child, growing up, you need to look inside yourself, figure out who you want to be and how to become that, and study on how to do that until you're at least 18. So your whole first 18 years of life is about doing that. From 18 on to 25 is you practicing that and getting good at it. From 25 to 28, when your brain finally sets in, that'll be so locked in, you'll be 100% without thinking about it, the person you practice your whole life. That's how you grow and to become a productive citizen of the world, of society. But you have to instill morals for yourself and practice those morals every day of your life. Otherwise, it's useless if other people are judging you or if other people are your ruler for what your morals should be. Anyway, I think that's it for today. There's plenty more, but you can see where I've only watched the video. Like, I think it's right there. As soon as he started talking, showing the meme video of himself drinking water and backing it with a Coke because it tasted bad and watering some plant. That's where I stopped and started recording this video. So remember to go subscribe, hit that notification bell and that like button for Asmongold. And if you can, do the same for me. I much appreciate it. Thank y'all for y'all's time. And hopefully I sound better again. I did some more tweaking and I just hope it all worked. Love y'all from Texas.